top. Iran in pole position right now, set to take on a Kazakh team they beat by 21 in Astana back on game day 3. Little chance of clawing that margin back to win the head-to-head, but do remember the records from this first stage of qualifying carry through to the second stage. These two are both set for the next round and will both want to arrive there with the very best record possible. We're in the third and final window in the first round of qualifiers in the new FIBA international calendar. And this the 6th and final game for all nations across the 4 Asian qualifying groups. All around the globe, 80 different countries have been competing to become one of the 32 that will go to the World Cup in China next year. We're close to narrowing that field down to the final 60. 52 teams had qualified at the start of play today. It is the biggest centrally controlled basketball project of all time. The two that take place in Group D here today are Iran against Kazakhstan, and then later on, bottom side Qatar face Iraq with a simple equation: win, and they go through to the second round of qualifiers at Iraq's expense, and lose, and it's the Iraqis that make the next stage. It is a true winner-takes-all contest, and you can see just why. Iraq and Qatar both 1 and 3 so far. Iran and Kazakhstan both 3 and 1, so these two competing for top spot, although it will be very difficult for Kazakhstan, having lost the reverse meeting in Astana by that big margin. "88 games taking place right across the planet in this window. Our focus here on Asian qualifying Group D. And we're about to have the official introduction of the two sets of players, starting with the visiting team, Kazakhstan, 3 and 2.
Number 13,
3 and 2 so far. They're already into the next stage of qualifying. They started with a 12-point win over Qatar in Doha before beating Iraq by 6 on home soil. Game day 3 saw them lose by 21 to today's opponents, but they responded with a 33-point home win over Qatar before losing by 14 to Iraq in Doha on Friday, 64-50.
And now Iran. Asami team Iran. شماره 4 میرزایی تالارپشتی میثم. Number 5 مشایخی سجاد. Number 7 داوودی چگانی آرن. Number 10
The Iranians being introduced, 4 and 1 so far. They've already guaranteed their place in the second stage of qualifiers. They actually started with an 8-point defeat to Iraq, but have since won 4 in a row, by 26 over Qatar, by 21 in Kazakhstan, by 30 to take their revenge at home to Iraq, and then on Friday by just 2 points against Qatar in Doha, 75-77.
Number 77 Hassanzadeh Saberi Mohammad. Head coach Shahin Tab Mehran. First assistant coach Kuyan Afzali Farzad. Second assistant coach.
The two sets of players introduced to the fans in Tehran. Iran led by Mehran Shahin Tab, Kazakhstan led by Yevgeny Izikov. And we will pause now for the two national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthems. Let's start from Kazakhstan. تماشاچیان گرامی، خواهشمندم برای پاسداشت و احترام به سرود ملی تیم قزاقستان به پا خیزید. Please remain standing for national anthem of Iran. خواهشمندم برای پاسداشت سرود ملی ایران همچنین بایستید.
Iranian basketball has seen an astronomical rise in recent years. They'd not won a single medal at the Asian Championships before 2007. They have since been crowned Asian champions at 3 of the last 6 continental tournaments in 2007, 2009 and 2013. They also won bronze in 2015 and silver last year when they lost the final to Australia in Lebanon. They're also looking to qualify for their 3rd straight FIBA World Cup, having never qualified for one before. Kazakhstan hoping to qualify for the FIBA World Cup for the very first time in their history. Iran favourites for this one, I'm sure. Certainly favourites to go on and finish top of the pile given their head-to-head situation against Kazakhstan, but Kazakhstan can trouble them. Iran have the power inside, Kazakhstan have the outside threat. More three-pointers than any other Asian team across the first 2 qualifying windows. They also grab the most defensive rebounds, but today they'll have a tough job contesting with the great height and physicality of this Iranian roster, and in particular with Hamed Haddadi. The 2'18" centre averaged more rebounds than any other player over those previous windows, including a standout individual game tournament high of 20 against today's opponents back in February. The 2 sets of players going through their final warm-ups on court. We've had the official introductions. We'll hopefully get a look at the rosters for the 2 as well. We are due to have the opening tip in just a minute or 2. Iran finished 19th and 20th in the last 2 World Cup finals, at Turkey in 2010 and Spain in 2014. Their only 2 finals appearances so far. They put themselves in the driver's seat to try and go to a 3rd straight World Cup. Kazakhstan have put themselves in a wonderful position to try and challenge, already through to the 2nd stage of qualifiers, and they're hoping to write a new chapter in their history by making the finals for the first time. They are regular competitors in the Asian Championships, have been since 1995, but they're yet to claim a place on the podium. They were 4th in 2007, losing to Korea in the bronze medal game. They placed 16th in last year's tournament in Lebanon, having been 11th in China 2 years earlier. So it would be some remarkable achievement if they were to be one of the Asian representatives at next year's World Cup in China. It should be a fantastic atmosphere in Tehran for this one. And what a chance to see the national team play in the capital in what should be a really competitive encounter. And what a chance to see the Iranian superstar Hamed Haddadi, the number 15 there, the first ever Iranian to play in the NBA. And an absolute man-mountain, 2'18", 7'2". He's averaged 19.3 points, 14.3 rebounds, 1.7 blocks, 1.7 steals per game, and shot 51% from the floor across 3 previous qualifier appearances. Mohamed Nikabarami, their number 14, another key player, offering scoring and creativity. 14.7 points, 7 assists per game for Iran. Kazakhstan, to counter those threats, will look to the number 10, Rustam Mirzagaliev, who's been their key player, their point guard. 9.4 points, 4.6 rebounds, 5.2 assists per game, and shooting 46% from downtown. And key perhaps at centre to try and challenge Haddadi. Here's the number 17, Alexander Zegulin, who stands 16 centimetres shorter than Haddadi, but has so far averaged 8.4 points and 6 rebounds per game to lead Kazakhstan in that category. He also offers a long-range threat, 50% from the perimeter. Here we go then. Iran looking for the first score. And they have it with Nikabarami. Across to this near side it comes to Jamshidi, who takes on the early 3 and doesn't get anywhere near. Iran ranked 24th in the world. Kazakhstan ranked some way below them in 68th. Two nations already on their way to the second stage of qualifiers, but both desperate to be there with the best possible records. Iran 4-1, Kazakhstan 3-2 so far. Bounce pass into the lane, picked off. Here come Iran. On the charge goes Kazemi all the way through. Can't score. Oh, he does just get it to drop. He got contact on his route to the rim. So a chance to give Iran the first points of this one. Arslan Kazemi, who's another key player for them with his power inside. We've seen his pace as well in transition, but averaging 8 points and 10.2 rebounds per game, as well as 1.4 assists. He'll complement Haddadi's presence in the paint. Stands over 2 meters himself. Mirzagaliev directing traffic for Kazakhstan. He'll pull up for a 3-point shot. And it's an air ball. He wanted a foul, doesn't get it, and here come Iran. Chalida moved on by Nikabarami down the baseline. Nice drive. Here's Haddadi for the first time, and he will go to the stripe. 20 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals and 2 blocks he had on game day 3 against Kazakhstan. He was 8 of 17 from the field in that monster game for the Mammoth Man. He's up and running here in this one. And Iran have scored all 4 of their points so far from the stripe. A chance for Kazakhstan to get the first field goal of this one. The stop and pop mid-ranger wouldn't drop. Big chance for Kazakhstan to get on the board, and they still haven't. Jamshidi, across to the far side it goes. There's the 3, right on the money from Chalida. Only shooting 20% from the outside before that one. Off the mark for Kazakhstan again. Iran have scored the first 7 points. All the way through, nobody coming across. A couple of missed layups. They'll take on the 3 instead, and it will go off the broken play for Chalida. Back-to-back 3s, having hit just 1 of 5 from the outside in his previous appearance. And Iran have raced away to score the first 10 points in this one. Kazakhstan call timeout.
Смотрите, при прессинге 3 игрока. 3 игрока должно быть, один в центре. Пас сюда в центр. Пас сюда, пас в центр. Играйте. Обостряйте эту. Пятый не здесь стоит. Гоша, если так
What a superb start for Iran in Tehran. They've scored the first 10 points in this ball game. And they've given Kazakhstan a bit of a taste of their own medicine as well. Kazakhstan, the best three-point shooting team in Asian qualifying over those first 2 qualifying windows. Iran have pulled up and knocked down a couple of threes of their own, 2 of 3 from the outside. They have just changed one of those by the looks of it to a 2-pointer. So the number 10, who's hit both of those long ranges, Benan Yakchalida, must have had a toe on the line for one of them. And they've scored the first 9 points, Iran. Kazakhstan firing off the mark again, 0 of 4 from the field now. Here goes Kazemi looking to plough all the way through, kick to the corner. Nitkar Barami on his right hand into the paint, finds Haddadi. Haddadi trying to edge his way down the baseline, turns it over. Here come Kazakhstan now, looking to pour down court and looking to get their first points, and they do. Rustam Galiev going all the way. Jamshidi onto Haddadi. Jamshidi getting down the baseline. Nice pass, big time finish. Iranian ignition in Tehran. Arslan Kazemi rocking the rim. And Iran rocking Kazakhstan. Beautiful team basketball. Finished with a big exclamation mark. Iran are now up by double digits for the first time. We've only played 3 minutes. Kazakhstan 1 of 5 from the field so far, around 3 of 6, 4 of 4 from the line as well. And Iran not budging an inch on defense. Nikolai Bazin had the ball knocked away. Still Kazakh possession. And there's a Galiev who's got those only 2 points for them inbounding the ball. This is Merchuk. Bounce pass into the lane. Left hand layup wouldn't fall. And Kazakhstan missing good chances from the field. Yakchalida on to Haddadi. Haddadi coming out to run interference. Off the pick and roll inside, kicks it back out. Beautiful ball movement again. Wouldn't go this time for Nitkar Barami. Still a 10-point margin. Mirza Galiev. Apologies for the problem with the clock at the bottom of your picture as it goes inside here towards Gavrilov, and a foul call. We've played about 4 minutes in this first quarter. Yogali prodding and probing, and then retreating, looking to use the screen of Gavrilov. It comes across to Bazan, who had it knocked away. Iran looking to come down the floor with Kazemi, who's already showed what he could do coast to coast. Haddadi showing his power, misses, picks it back up and stuffs it back in. Haddadi dominant inside. Iran by 12. Bazin. Yogali. Into the lane, bounce pass, nice pass, reverse layup, wouldn't fall though. 1 of 7 from the field of Kazakhstan. Despite a bit of quality on that offensive possession, they're still not able to convert. Haddadi on the outside now, looking to hand it off. Nitkar Barami looking to bundle it through, finds Haddadi. Haddadi, little hesitation in the paint, beat 2 of them to score again. 6 points already for Hamed Haddadi. Back-to-back field goals. Iran by 14. Kazakhstan can't buy a basket right now as they turn it over again. Quick offense for Iran down the floor, but the pass not handled effectively by Nitkar Barami. Now Yagali finding the open shooter. It'll be a 2 if it goes. It doesn't. They're throwing up bricks right now, Kazakhstan. All the way down the floor comes Jamshidi with the left-hand finish. Iran running riot. Kazakhstan don't know what to do right now. They have been absolutely blitzed here in the first 5.5 minutes. 16 points, the Iranian lead. Still Kazakh ball. Azim Yagodkin into the game to get the ball back into the game. Can he help in this situation? He was 0 of 6 in the first meeting with Iran. As a team, so far in this one, they're 1 of 8. And they will turn it over again, Kazakhstan. They've got a real problem with the clock at the moment, not showing at the bottom of your picture. The officials seem on top of it in terms of the clock in the arena. Jamshidi quickly onto this near side, wide open, 3 will go, nothing but net for Yak Chalida. He gets his second from the outside. Might have had 3 had they not taken one off him. Three-point shot down the other end of the floor. Nothing going down for Kazakhstan as Yagali is off the mark. Haddadi taking his time, across to the far side it goes. That's going to be a long 2 if it drops. It doesn't for Nitkar Barami, and a foul underneath against the rebounder. And my stats are now once again showing 3 of 3 from the outside for Benam Yak Chalida, who definitely had one of those taken away in that timeout when Iran had a point taken off their tally. It looks like they're counting it as a 3 again on the live stats anyway. Still nothing for Kazakhstan, absolutely nothing. Iran pouring forward again. Too strong on the left hand. Now a chance with Iran short-handed on defense for Kazakhstan to try and create something. Yagodkin across to the far side, bounce pass towards the baseline. Zagulin loses it, another turnover. Another chance in transition for Iran. They'll slow it down though. Sahakian, there's the 3 and a foul on the 3-point shot from Yak Chalida. Such is the concern from the Kazakhstan defense regarding his shooting ability from the outside. 3 of 3 so far, having been just 1 of 5 in his first qualifying appearance on Friday against Qatar. He scored 11 points in that one, but he was only 4 of 14 from the field altogether. 3 of 9 inside, 1 of 5 from downtown. But he's a player who the coach obviously trusts and who obviously trusts himself to put it right. And he's certainly put it right so far in this one. 3 of 3 from downtown. 9 points in the opening 7.5 minutes. And now up to double figures. The number 10 has 10. And he's got a chance to try and add one more. Fouled on the 3-point shot, so the 3rd foul shot coming. Iran are up by 20 points after less than 7.5 minutes. Yak Chalida with 10 of them. Haddadi with 6. And Kazemi with 4. Only 1 of 3 from the stripe for Yak Chalida, who's 3 of 3 from the perimeter. Reeled in just about by Basin. Yagali looking to burst to the basket. Off the window, would it fall? Offensive rebound and a foul. And finally they will have the chance from the stripe to stop the rot, with Iran battling so hard on defense. In the end, a little bit too tenacious. And this is a concern. Agadi down on the deck. It's a long way down for him. It looks like he'll be okay as he goes to the bench. And Mirzat Alaposhti comes in. Alexander Zagulin at the line to try and get Kazakhstan's first points in what seems like an absolute eternity. He does get them both. It's an 18-point deficit here in the first quarter. Mashieki moving the ball on. So too did Sahakian onto Mirzat Alaposhti. Mashieki bursting into a gap, going for the layup, wouldn't fall. Rebound, Mirzat Alaposhti puts it back in. Iran have their 20-point lead back. Yugodkin. Bashim moves it across to this side. Here's Yagali. Shot clock winding down to the final 5 seconds here. Yagali looking to take them all on. Lovely pass at the end of it as well. And this time Bashim provides the finish. Really good play from Yagali to commit the defense and find the open man on the cut down the baseline. Nikkar Barami getting some contact. Kazakhstan did have that foul to give in the first. Iran already on 4 fouls. We've got 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And Yevgeny Isakov's Kazakh side down by 18. They've only scored 1 field goal. In fact, make it 2 now in the whole of this game. Sahakian taking on a 3, getting another one to drop. Iran 4 of 6 from long range. And they can't answer back with one, Kazakhstan. Final seconds of the first. Nikkar Barami kicks it over to the far side. Sahakian called for a travel, will turn it over. Iran have had 3 turnovers in the quarter. Kazakhstan have had 6. Kwanov. 3-pointer from the high post wouldn't go for Bazin. 2 of 14 from the field now. There's the burst down the floor. Missed layup. Batted back though brilliantly by Nikkar Barami and put in by Mirzat Alaposhti. 27 first quarter points for Iran. Their lead is 21. Yugodkin. 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. There's the denial as well to stop the baseline drive and all the way down the floor. They'll get a chance to take their first quarter tally past the 30-point mark with a couple of foul shots. Big time defense leading to another opportunity in transition on offense. Navid Rezefar. Able to get that one to pop back in after it popped out. 30 for Iran in the first quarter. We are in the very final seconds. There is not 2 minutes and 9 remaining. 31 for Iran. And that will do it for the first. And what a first for the Iranians in Tehran. 31 points in the quarter, holding Kazakhstan to 6. Iran rampant as they lead by 25 after just 10 minutes. Well, this has been a special first quarter in the Iranian capital, witnessed by a large crowd here in Tehran, and they have been treated. 31-6. The shooting percentage is phenomenal for Iran. 4 of 7 from the outside, 6 of 12 inside, but they've limited Kazakhstan to 2 of 15 from the field for just 6 points as well. Iran doing the business on offense and defense, led by the 10 points of Benam Yakchalida. And that one of just 2 field goals for Kazakhstan. The points have been pouring for Iran, though. Beautiful team basketball leading to that dunk early on that helped to spark their run. Arslan Kazemi perhaps with the play of the game. Haddadi also has 6 points for them. Mezat Aliash Poshti has 4, so too does Kazemi. Yagali. 3-point shot taken on and hit. The first outside shot for Kazakhstan, maybe to signal a change of fortunes in a new quarter. Kuanov gets them within 22. Mashiyeki to Jamshidi. Merzate Al-Poshti rolling inside, knocked away, and they force a turnover. Iran only had 3 turnovers in the whole of the first quarter. 1 right at the start of the second. Kazakhstan can't get their first back-to-back baskets, though, in this one. Sahakian moving it on. Finger roll will fall for Mashiyeki. Iran up and running in the second. 5 points for the number 5. Kuanov. Pass in across to the far side. They haven't taken too many 3-point attempts, Kazakhstan, despite their proficiency for hitting them in this qualifying campaign. They're 1 of 4 from downtown. They ran a 4 of 7. Their 3 leading scorers, Zagulin, Yagali and Mirza Galiev, in this campaign have all shot around 40% or over from the 3-point line. They could do with a few to get them back in business here. Nice pass inside, though, and Baikov will do the rest. Kazakhstan with as many field goals in the second quarter in just a minute and a half as they had in the whole of the first quarter. Still down by 22. Sahakian moving it to the far side. Here goes Mirzate Al-Poshti. Will he get the drop? Yes, he does, with the contact on his route to the rim and a chance at a 3-point play. Well, the man who's come in to give Haddadi a break has already matched Haddadi's tally. And now he's got a chance to surpass it. 3 of 4 from the field, 6 points in less than 4 minutes on court. It remains 6 points. They almost get the offensive rebound, though. Kazakhstan come up with the ball. 24, the Iranian lead. Another outside shot, 2 threes here in the second. And Kazakhstan starting to show signs of the team that have already qualified for the next phase of qualification with that 3-2 record. Jamshidi to the corner. Mashiyeki trying to bounce it down the baseline, deflected out of bounds. 21 the margin. Sayed Mashiyeki to inbound, 10.4 points, 4.8 rebounds, 2.6 steals per game in these qualifiers. Another bounce pass down the baseline, goes astray, but it's retrieved on the far side, reeled in just about in the end by Razafar, who has to fire from deep. And now Kazakhstan can come and try and take this below 20. 3-on-1 fast break opportunity. And they will go to the line for 2 with Rustam Yagali. Gali a chance for his first point. Kazakhstan's leading scorer in qualifying, averaging 12 points per game. He's missed all 4 of his field goal attempts so far in this one, hasn't scored in 11 and a half minutes on court. His first trip to the foul line. And now he's up and running and has a chance to bring Kazakhstan within 19. At least, and it is a very slight silver lining on an otherwise dark cloud of a performance so far. At least they've fallen behind by this margin so early and they have time to retrieve it as they force a turnover again. Kuanov to the far side, they'll take on a long 2 and that one falls as well. Kazakhstan, who scored just 6 points in the first quarter, have got 12 in the first 3 minutes of the second. A timeout called. We've seen 3 go on the scoreboard, but that will certainly be a 2. There was a foot on the line, but Kazakhstan have been sparked into life.
اگر دفاعشون زون بود میرین روی 2 بالا اگر دفاعشون من تو من بود میرین 5 بالا جدی‌تر اختلاف رو اصلا نگاه نکنین بازی و تمرکزتون به هم نریزه
Again, I'm seeing on the live stats that one's gone down as a 3. It has in the arena, though, been changed to a 2. So 35-18 is the score. Kazakhstan back within 17 points. Certainly was a foot on the line from Yagali, who moments after scoring his first points from the foul line has hit his first field goal on his 5th attempt. 35-18 should be the score here. Haddadi's back in the game for Iran. They turn it over once more, though. Here comes Yagali again. Kuanov. Sherbak. He pulls up for the long 2 off the front rim. Big offensive rebound. Can't put it back in, though, Bazin, after doing the hard part. And then a foul in transition, which will be called unsportsmanlike, as Shem Kuanov makes no legitimate attempt to play the ball. And that's a really bad decision on his part. This will be foul shots and possession for Iran to really halt the Kazakh momentum that had been building over the last couple of minutes. Sayed Mashuyeki knocks the first down. 1 more to come before Iran have the ball back. And he makes no mistake. 7 points for Mashuyeki. One silly decision in transition to foul, but you also have to look to Bazin, who should have hit the layup before that foul from Kuanov. Individual errors for Kazakhstan. And Iran looking to take full advantage, back up by above 20. Benan Yakchalida now 4 of 4 from the outside. Still a question mark over that record. Here's Yagali, gets denied on the 3-point attempt. Reza Galiev picks up the loose ball, still plenty of time, shot clock down to 5. Yagali again looking to attack Haddadi, has the advantage in terms of pace, can't get the drop, and nor can Bazin. And Iran finally come away with the ball, released downfield by Jamshidi, on the trail, nice pass, give and go, inside, it will drop for Yakchalida with the contact, a Tehran tidal wave washing over crushed Kazakhstan. Iran back up by 24 in the blink of an eye as they poured forward. The Kazakhstan defense just getting swept away by the speed of transition play from Iran and the crispness of passing. It's now the largest lead of the game at 25. It seems only a second or two ago that Kazakhstan had reduced the arrears to what seemed like a potentially surmountable figure. Not anymore. 25 points the difference at the midway point of the second quarter. There's a Galiev, shot clock winding down. 3 for Yagali, off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Kazemi. Davudi Chagani in the game, the number 7 for the first time. Haddadi playing the role of playmaker. Wouldn't quite come back off the baseline on the bounce pass though. Iran have tried things like that. Around the rim, in the paint. With plenty of movement off the ball, cuts from the wings. And they look to be a really well-functioning team offensively and defensively. Moving into the second phase of qualification with real momentum. Here's a Galiev. Baikov receiving it from Marchuk. Right hand dribble drive. He gets it to fall as well after the foul from Nick Karparami. Well, there has at least been a vast improvement on offense in the second quarter from Kazakhstan. They've scored 14 points in around 5.5 minutes. And that after scoring just 6 in the first 10 minutes. He can't complete the three-point play, Maxim Marchuk. I believe it should be 43-20. Kazemi handing the ball off. Across to this near side it comes for Davudi Chagani. Deep three-pointer taken on towards the end of the shot clock. An offensive rebound and a fresh 14. Haddadi. Nick Karparami looking to work with Haddadi. Flips it into the big man, edge of the paint, flips it back, touch pass to the far side, wouldn't quite come off, and then a foul. And they're certainly playing with a fluency and a confidence and a spring in their step around. It's been a really enjoyable watch. It has not been competitive. They only won by 2 points against Qatar in Doha on Friday. Iran 75-77. They're looking to instigate a landslide win here on home court on the final day of the first stage of qualifiers. Yagali, the pass into traffic though, picked off. They're fighting so hard on defense as well. Davudi Chagani off the bench, coming up with a big steal. Here he is on the offensive end. Bounce pass wouldn't quite connect with Haddadi. And down the floor for a rare, easy score goes Anton Baikov. 7 turnovers apiece now. Kazakhstan forcing more turnovers on Iran already here in the second than they did in the first, and protecting the ball far better themselves as well. Deep, deep three. Too long from Nick Karparami. Another offensive rebound. Yakchalida. 7 offensive boards to 2 now in Iran's favour. Haddadi shooting the static long 2. Another offensive rebound, although as Haddadi, to the delight of the Iranian fans, rocks the rim, it will be a shot clock violation. This well after the whistle. There's Galiev directing traffic. Five left on the shot clock. They get a decent look, at least until the huge presence of Haddadi blocks out any light in front of the shooter. Haddadi on the offensive end, nice pass to the corner. The three-point shot wouldn't go for Davudi Chegani. 2 minutes and change remaining, beg your pardon, in this first half, as the three goes for Kazakhstan to close the gap back down to 18. They've shown life again, just as they did towards the start of this quarter. And Iran are going to call a timeout to make sure they keep hold of their sizable lead into the break.
Следующий владение еще палец. Ребята, отдал Гендов. Оскар, вниз спускайся на палец. Эй, сейчас играем в кулак. Объяснительно пас отдал. Идите на трек. Иди вперед, на игрока. Коля, сюда, между твоими. Эй, всегда с ним касаться.
You saw some of the shooting numbers there. Iran very impressive, shooting 52% from the field altogether, 60% inside, 42% from downtown. Kazakhstan have improved their field goal percentage to 33%, having hit a miserable 2 field goals in the whole of the first quarter. There's that quick passing again from Iran. Hassan Zada Saberi, who's on for the first time, getting some contact on his path through the paint. Iran have worked themselves to the line for 14 attempts in this first half. Make it 15, and for 11 of those. There is the opportunity for a slightly optimistic finish to the first half for Kazakhstan here. They're back within 19. 17 is as close as they've been since Iran burst away to lead by more than 20. They turn it over again here though. Running the floor with plenty of energy goes Yak Chalida, the leading scorer, turns it over though as it's grabbed by Maidakin. Yagali. Maidakin, a 21-year-old playing for the first time in this qualification campaign, and then the three-point shot knocked down to close the gap to 16. Mirza Galiev from the outside. Final minute of the second quarter. Yachalida, who's 4 of 5 from long range himself. Haddadi. On it goes to Mitkar Barami. Recovered at centre court just about by Yachalida. Has to throw it up towards the end of the shot clock. Did have a couple more seconds to work with. Grabbed underneath by Hassan Zada Saberi, but he steps on the line. Kazakhstan could take this to 13 or 14 points at the break. 41 seconds, I believe, remaining. A score, a defensive stop and a score, and it would very much be game on. There's a Galiev. Thought about the three, they will take on the three. This time, nothing but nylon for Yagali, and Kazan back in business. From 25 down in the first half, they've closed the gap to 13. Now can they get that defensive stop? Haddadi ploughing through will go to the foul line. Haddadi 2 of 2 from the stripe. Both of them came right at the start of the game. There's a bit of afters as well. Haddadi, a man who makes sure he protects himself. Not a man you want coming at you. And this is the first. And Kazakhstan have an opportunity to close the gap even further. The shot clock turned off at the end of the first half now with 17 seconds remaining, it looks like. A 14-point gap. We will have a Kazakh timeout. Haddadi up to 7 points. So this huge Iranian lead has been just about cut in half.
Антон, место Аскара. Сиди. Вадим, выйди здесь. Музар, играйте голову. Джексон здесь. Пас даешь. Антон, поставьте заслон с Колей. Видишь, сразу играешь голову. Коля сюда. Джексон идешь на заслон. Перейди. Давай.
Big time out for the Kazakh bench. They've closed the gap from 25 down to 14 with 17 seconds remaining in the first half. They still don't look that concerned in Tehran. But what a boost it would be going into the break if Kazakhstan could close that gap a little bit further here with what should be the last offensive possession of the second quarter. Igali has helped to get them back in business, just about walking the tightrope, balancing on the sideline to stay in bounds here. There's Mirza Galiev, got it up, but that was the end of the quarter, didn't get it away in time. And that balancing act cost them the opportunity to release before the expiration of the second quarter clock. Basket good, at least in terms of accuracy, not good in terms of timing. So a 14-point Iran lead. It has been as many as 25, but at half-time, Iran 45, Kazakhstan 31. Let's take a look at some of the stats. Iran still shooting the ball very well, 56% inside, 38% from downtown. Kazakhstan coming back with their three-point shooting show. 5 of 10 from the outside for 50%. Iran double the rebounds, more than triple the offensive rebounds. And just the one more turnover now for Kazakhstan. They protected the ball far better to come back in that second quarter. And what a remarkable finish to the second quarter for them. They were down by 25 points at 43-18. And they finish with a 13-2 run, Kazakhstan, to go down by 14 at the half. Just 2 points scored from Iran in the last 5 minutes of that second quarter. 43 points in the first 15 minutes. It looked as though they were going to crash right through the half-century mark before the half-time interval. Kazakhstan limiting them, though. And now looking to get back within touching distance when we resume with the second half in around 10 minutes' time. Iran led by the 16 points of Benan Yakchalida, who's 4 of 6 from downtown, 6 rebounds for him as well. Haddadi inside battling away for 7 points, 3 rebounds, some way below his usual averages at the halfway point though. He's only taken 3 field goal attempts, hit 2 of them, 3 of 4 from the line as well. Mashayeki has 7 points for the hosts, and they've also got 6 from Mirzait Alarposhti, who came in to relieve Haddadi at one point. His 6 points coming in just over 5 minutes, as well as 4 rebounds in that limited time on court. Kazakhstan led by the 7 points from Rustam Yagali. Although he's 2 of 9 from the field, he's got 4 assists to lead Kazakhstan in that department as well. And they've got 5 points from Maxim Marchuk and 4 from Anton Baikev. A number of players struggling from the field early on. What a terrible start. 22-2 the start for Iran as they opened up that very early 20-point gap. But Kazakhstan have got themselves at least back in the fight, trailing by 14 at half-time. It's Iran 45, Kazakhstan 31. Do join us for the second half shortly. Welcome back to Tehran, where Iran look in a comfortable position at half-time, leading by 14 points, 45-31, but that doesn't really tell the full story. They've scored just 2 points in the last 5 minutes of action. Kazakhstan cutting a 25-point deficit down to just 14, having started with an abysmal 22-2 score against them over the first 3 and a bit minutes. They have steadied the ship somewhat and put themselves in a position from which to at least try and force a comeback in this second half. Still Iran in pole position, not just in this game but in the group. They will go through as group winners, providing they don't lose this one by a huge margin. That certainly seems to be a non-existent possibility now. But they still want to take the best possible record through to the second stage of qualifiers. A win here would put them 5-1 at the start of the second stage in September. A defeat for Kazakhstan would leave them with the precarious position of a 3-3 record. If they could find a way of pulling off the great escape in this one from 25 down to turn it back in their favour, they could at least go through 4-2, which is a much brighter position to be in come the start of the second set of qualifiers, the first window being in September, the second in November and the third in February of 2019. Kazakhstan missed their first 8 shots from the field as part of that abysmal start, going down by 20 very early on. And they have since shot more than 50% from the field. And they finished the second half with a 13-2 run to close that 25-point gap down to 14. Iran will start with the ball at the start of the second half. And Kazakhstan will try and pick up where they left off. Nikkar Barami handing it off. Jamshidi trying to kick it back out. Kazakhstan have forced a turnover. Marchuk 2-on-1, fast break all the way through, missing a layup again. Kazakhstan, they've had several of those, and it would be a single-digit game had they been able to finish around the rim. In this position, you just cannot give away those kind of opportunities. Nikkar Barami, he's off the mark. No harm done immediately for Kazakhstan, who get another opportunity to close the gap. Kuanov gets it back from Marchuk, then hangs one high. Really difficult pass for Marchuk, who was trying to run the ring road around the defense, and then they're punished at the other end of the floor, Kazakhstan, for that attempt at some outlandish offensive play. Nikkar Barami with a chance at a 3-point play. Kazakhstan with 2 opportunities to close the gap to 11 or 12 and blowing them. And the first a layup they should have converted, the second an absolute giveaway of a turnover. And here at the foul line, Mohamed Nikkar Barami with a 3-point play rubs salt in Kazakhstan's open wounds. 17 points the margin again. Wide open 3, falls well short. It was off the mark from Yagali, and then Zigulin couldn't grab the rebound, floated up towards Haddadi. It'll still be Iranian ball. Chalida will inbound, 16 points so far, 5 of 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown in just 16.5 minutes, 6 rebounds on his stat line as well. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Haddadi dishes it off as he draws the attention of the defence. Kick back out to Nitkar Barami, who slices right through the defence and finally puts Iran to the half-century mark. They were at 43 points at the midway point of the second quarter. Ghali trying to get down the baseline, draws contact. First foul on Iran in the third. Iran look to have found their flow again after that torrid finish to the second quarter when they scored just 2 points in the final 5 minutes. They've got 5 already here in the third. 19 points the gap. Shot clock to 5. Here goes Kuwanov running into traffic, picked up by Yakchalida, who goes through the gears down the floor. They'll slow it down though and play in the half court with Nitkar Barami. Kazemi trying to make the move inside, receives it now in the low post, looking to go one-on-one. It was a mismatch, and Vadim Sherbak takes the foul. Chalida inbounding with 14. Set on the shot clock as the number 14 dishes it off, and Kazemi puts it in. Nitkar Barami with the nice assist, Kazemi with the cut to the basket and the contact along the way. Iran back up by more than 20. And after that positive finish to the first half, a dreadful start to the second for Kazakhstan. Any hope of really making this a game seems, at least for now, to have dissipated. Baikov moving it across to Sherbak. Ghali. Ghali getting through a gap away from Haddadi. A double block. A defensive door slammed in the face of Coach Isakov's team. Prodded away from Haddadi at the other end of the floor. Ghali bringing the ball down court, another turnover. No intelligence on the fast break. No ingenuity about Kazakhstan right now. The stop and pop three will drop though for Ghali. And they do get a moment of joy in an otherwise drab 3 minutes in this quarter. No defense being played whatsoever though. Ghali up to 10 points, but Yakchalida now up to 18. 20 points the margin. Kuwanov floating one over the top of Haddadi. Far easier said than done. The fizz pass down the floor. Behind the back pass for the three-point shot. Will it go? Ghali battling for the rebound. It will be Kazakh possession. At least what Kazakhstan have in their favour is their outside shot. If they can go on a streak and get hot from deep, they've got a chance of putting themselves in a position from which to apply a little bit of pressure. No signs of that comeback so far though. Baikov trying to swing one around Haddadi. And then the foul from Kazemi. Turned over off the inbound pass. 3-on-2 fast break opportunity. The bounce pass, pinpoint precision as Nitkar Barami puts it in. Iran by 22. 12 turnovers now for Kazakhstan. And that count that we've got on the live stats might be A little bit kind to them as well. I'm sure there's been more. Almost one there, but Jamshidi called for the contact. Around by 22. Only 3 points shy of their largest lead, despite the best efforts of Kazakhstan to make a game of it again. There's Galiev. 3 points so far. Contact to his small total towards the midway point of this quarter. 1 of 4 from the field now, the number 10. Jalida into Haddadi, who turns around with the one-hand slam jam. The Tehran Tower taking off in the lane. Iran up by 24, and Kazakhstan call a timeout at the midway point of the third.
Контролируй всегда. Всегда его контролируй больше. Давай, давай. Эй, сыграем 32. Но как мы сыграем? Пас, выход назад. Да? Фейк, пик н ролл. 4-й идет Коля. Здесь.
تا میتونی دام نگرشون داری تا میتونی دام نگرشون داری
Kazakhstan have it all to do again. Close to the largest lead for Iran, 24 points now. And a number of big performances in front of a big crowd in the capital. Ahmed Haddadi with an under-the-radar 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals and a block so far. Jalida leading the way with 18 points, 7 rebounds. There's Galiev. Hands it off to Ugali. There's Galiev again, shot clock winding down to the final few seconds. There's the meandering dribble, runs into traffic, turns it over. Here comes Jamshidi down the floor, puts it in with the right hand off the glass. And it is now the largest lead of the game, 26 points. 4.5 minutes to play in the third. Sherbak crosses over onto the right, gets contact on his path into the paint. Just a reminder that after this we've got Qatar against Iraq in this group. The winner of that will go through to the second stage of qualifying. The loser will go out. Big defensive stop put up there by Kazemi. No way through for Anton Baikov. Barring an absolute implosion or an absolute miracle, Iran will go through to that second stage 5-1, and Kazakhstan will be forced through with a 3-3 record, which will put them in a difficult position to start in September. Coach Izikov for Kazakhstan is busting and burning about as many calories as his players right now. Absolutely irate. They do get the possession. Not for long though. Tipped away, brilliant play, interception, down the floor all the way. Actually, they hits 20 in style. The lead stretched to 28. forced the turnover with the quick thinking and quick reactions, and then had the acceleration to burst onto the loose ball and the composure to finish. Yagali, another turnover. They're racking up now. Quicker than you can count them from Kazakhstan. Iran showing just why they are three-time Asian champions. Haddadi. Nick Karbarami to the far side. Three-point shot will go. And the lead keeps growing and growing. Iran, for the first time, up by more than 30. Yagodkin. Yagali. Trying to find a way through. Even if he got past the two initial defenders, Haddadi was in the way. And Kazakhstan turning it over every time they get the ball. They can't even create a decent shot at the moment, let alone score a basket. Haddadi trying the ambitious pass. Yagali got his fingertips to it. Yacha leader. Step back jumper wouldn't go. And there's Galiev bringing the ball down the floor for Kazakhstan. Just to try and stop the bleeding, at least put a stitch in that wide open wound. Doesn't go first time, doesn't go second time for Yagali. He's 3 of 14 from the field for his team high 10 points. Quarterback pass down the floor, trying to connect with Yacha leader. Iran trying a bit of everything right now. Yagodkin. Yagali. Turnaround jumper way over the top of the hoop. Batted across to the far side. Yagodkin will get it at the second bite of the cherry for Kazakhstan. And that does stop the rot. At least gives Kazakhstan a couple of points. It's been an almighty drought for them here in the third. Turned over by Iran. No back-to-back baskets for Kazakhstan. They've only scored 5 points in the quarter. Haddadi gets fouled by Madekin. That's 4 fouls on both teams here in the third now. A 20-5 third quarter for Iran. They have blown this game wide open again after Kazakhstan with a 25-14 second quarter in their favour closed a 25-point first half gap down to 14 at the break. Now it's a 29-point Iranian lead. Haddadi bulldozing through. Mashiyeki steps back, takes on the long ranger, falls short, recovered underneath by Mirza Galiev. He creates a bit of room, misses the shot off the backboard though. Mashiyeki getting the ball, can only deflect it though to Bazin. Yagodkin into the lane, moved on one further and put in after the nice touch pass from Bazin. Madekin with the finish. Kazakhstan at least back-to-back baskets. Trying to make this scoreline look a little bit more respectable. Bazani offering the cut down the baseline, but just knocked away at the last moment by Basin. Eight seconds remaining on the shot clock. 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Iran by 27. Here comes Mirzait Al-Poshti. Karbarami has gone to the bench for Iran. A double change, I believe, with Fadadi going out as well. Final seconds of the shot clock here. Fired across. Caught, recovered. Unloaded by Kazemi, but off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Medakin. And now just a second or two differential between shot and game clock at the end of the third quarter. Kazakhstan hoping to hold it for the final shot of this period. Godkick. Kuranov gets it up, off one leg, off the mark. Time for two rebounds. And it's put in at the second attempt, and that will do it for the third. Medakin scores again. Kazakhstan with a late scoring burst in that third quarter, but it still only closes the gap to 25 points. Iran have been up by more than 30, absolutely dominant in the third quarter, that Iran were able to win 20-9, and they now lead 65-40.
دفاعی 41 و کامل گل نمیزنین. دفاعی 41 دقت کردیم. میسم زیر حلقه رو خوب محافظت کن. زیر حلقه رو. خوبه بچه.
Вниз спускаешься. Сюда заслон, смотри этот пас. Сначала смотри этот пас. Вниз. Потом поставь заслон. Коля, поставь Джексон. После заслона выходишь сюда. Эй, ребята, стой, стой, стой. Контакты, боритесь до конца.
Around 10 minutes away from moving into the second stage of qualifying with a 5-1 record. Really have brought their A game today, led by the 20 points now of Benan Yakcha, leader, who's 7 of 12 from the field, including 4 of 6 from downtown, 7 rebounds and a couple of steals for him. Nadadi on 9 points, Jamshidi and Karbarami on 7. So too is Mashieki. They lead by 25 at the start of the fourth quarter. I said at the start of the game, pre-game, that the outside shooting would be a key for Kazakhstan as they score a nice basket at the start of the fourth. They have hit 50% of their outside shots, but they're only taken 12. And I did also say that Iran's physicality inside would be difficult to overcome, and that has certainly proved the case. Kazakhstan shooting 50% on the outside, but just 28% on the inside. Trying to score the first 2 baskets of the fourth quarter, but turn it over with Yagali not in the spot that his passer anticipated. Iran have scored 57% of their attempts inside, and they're 6 of 16 from downtown. I do apologise if you're experiencing any breakup to your sound and picture. Hopefully we'll be with you through the final 9 minutes of this one. Iran up by 23. Still haven't scored yet in the fourth quarter. Kuanov. Madekin. There's a Galiev. Drawing the double team, trying to pass inside for what would have been a one-on-one chance. Kazemi that, with some really clever defending, anticipated the pass, got in front of its intended target and came up with the steal to launch the fast break. Mashieki up to 8 points. He's now a perfect 4 of 4 from the line for 9. Trying to force a turnover and has done 3 on 1 opportunity. Kazemi, no-look pass. Mashieki floating it across the top of the basket, and they'll have to slow it down and play in the half court now with Kazakhstan retreating. They still get the score as Mashieki turns on the afterburners down the baseline. Up to double figures very quickly with 4 quick-fire points here in the fourth. Deep three-pointer falls short. Rebound grabbed by Rezefe. Davide Chigani. Bounce pass. And a free finish for Mezet Alar Poshti, who's up to 8 points in just 8 minutes on court. Kazakhstan starting to get steamrolled again here in the fourth quarter. Call a timeout, trailing by 29.
Эй, ребята, не важно счет, важно совсем другое. Антон вместо Аскара. Азим вместо... Нет. Айма вместо Коли. Азим вместо Музара. Эй, ребята, разговаривайте. Сейчас на площадке 5-й, 7-й номер и 41-й. Можно давать больше.
Iran racing through to the next round of qualifiers with a very accomplished performance in the capital. 7.5 minutes to play, a 29-point advantage now. They haven't really looked back since that 22-2 start. 14 at half-time, the closest that Kazakhstan have come. This team trying their best, but to no avail. Oh, big rejection inside from Kazemi, who says, "This is my house." Arsalan Kazemi drawing the oohs and ahs from the Tehran crowd. Fifth block for Iran, the second for Kazemi, and perhaps the prettiest of the lot. I'm not sure if we're going to get another look at it or not. But Iran with the opportunity now down the other end of the floor to take their lead back to tie their largest lead at 31. Davide Chigani making his way down the baseline, but stepping on the baseline is Mashieki. 12th turnover for Iran. Yegorkin. Handed off across to Yogali. Back out, Yegorkin to take on a three with Kazemi's closeout just putting him off. Rowdy Chagani able to dish it off to Mirza Al-Arposhti, and he will go to the line. Once again, remember that it's Iraq against Qatar to finish the action in this group, and what a matchup as well. It's a direct winner-takes-all contest to decide who will go through to the next stage of qualifiers. .30 points the lead, stretch back to tie the largest lead at 31. Yegorkin. Kuanov. Sherbak trying to get down the baseline. Sakiev. He's playing for the first time, the 21-year-old, in his qualifiers, and turns the ball over. Mirza Al-Arposhti, nice pass over the top of the defence. Mashieki couldn't finish. Kazakhstan will be desperate to get back to Astana after this one. Zafar, Rowdy Chagani, the coach giving everybody minutes, and Rowdy Chagani rattles down a long ranger. Largest lead at 34 now for Iran, shooting 41% from the outside. Kazakhstan to answer back, the beautiful art from Kuanov. Rowdy Chagani. And by Sahakian is Mirza Al-Arposhti. Pirouette on the edge of the paint from the big man. The outside shot, beautifully done to Rowdy Chagani with his second from long range in quick succession. The lead back to 34, 3 straight threes. Yegorkin almost has his pocket picked there, able to retain possession. Might have been a moving screen from Baikov. The play goes on and they get the score and a chance for another three-point play, this time with the and one. Six points so far for Baikov. A chance to add one more to that tally. Kazakhstan have only got to the line for 5 free throws in the whole game. Quick release down the floor, quick release across court, and trying to take advantage of Kazakhstan getting back. They do get back in transition now to Rowdy Chagani. Across to the near side, a real three-point shot from Reza Farah for mark. Yegorkin. And by Sakiev. And turned over by Kazakhstan. 4 minutes and change remaining. Quick pass down the floor again. Free route to the rim to finish for Navid Rezifar. And the bench players for Iran getting good long minutes down the stretch in this one and still able to come up with the goods. And the Kazakh coach, Evgeny Yazikov, calls another timeout.
Читайте ситуацию. Во-первых, читать должен игрок с мячом. Поменялись. Дай пас, поднимись, если ты другой, сюда вниз. С дриблинга впереди уже был весь матч. Ребята, читайте ситуацию. Что бы произошло здесь, вы должны вернуться туда. Хорошо, Коля.
اگر خالی شدی خالی شدی، اگر نشدی هور میزنن همینجا. دقت کردی؟ و گوش بدین، اگر پاسو دادین به این ور به نوید میری ساید پیکورول حسن اون فقط.
The thunderclap from the Iranian fans in Tehran. Their team have brought the thunder, and Kazakhstan have failed to weather the storm at any point. Dominant from start to finish. Iran leading here towards the end by 33. There's a Galiev for Kazakhstan as they try and at least hit the 50-point mark. Jamshidi the rebound. Mohamed Jamshidi on the offensive end now. Karbarami. Shot clock down to 5 across to the far side. There's the pump fake. Wide open 3 now for Jamshidi. Knocks it down. An Iranian incision to cut apart Kazakhstan. And they have been cut apart in the capital. Into the lane, twisting and turning and squeezing it in is Anton Baikov, who gets the chance for the extra point. Baikov an opportunity to finish with a double-figure haul as well. We are going to have another timeout with Iran leading by 34 points, 84-50.
اینجا سمده شما اینجایی درست شد اینجا سمد میاد بالا این جمشیدیه شما اینجایی جمشیدی میاد از این استفاده میکنه میره اون بر پاسو میدی به جمشیدی سمد اصلا میره سایت پیکورول همه تون میرین یه طرف سایت پیکورول رول میکنی پاسو بهش میدی همین شد شما میری برای استفاده ادبی
Готов! Имитируешь готов! Идешь играть пик-н-ролл! В то время здесь Вадим, сори, здесь Айма. Вадим, перемещаешься в другую сторону. Айма в угол, ясно? Да. Раз, два, три, камень.
Iran dominant in each and every category here. 28-10 on points from turnovers. 28-15 on the fast break. 40-22 in the paint. And 32-21. The Iranian bench has outscored the Kazakh bench. They've led by as many as 36. They lead here by 34. As Baikov fails to complete the three-point play. 3 minutes remaining. It looks as though the official has hurt his knee. Iranian players just checking that he is okay. We're so close to the end. It's time to battle on. And Kazakhstan will be more desperate than anybody to leave this arena. Kabarami to Jamshidi. Jamshidi again, and a whistle on the play as Asad Zada Sabiri tries to slice through. Basin across to the far side to Yagodkin. High pass, reeled down by Medekin. Turned over though. Medekin, the number 14 for Kazakhstan, the only player who has been on court for Kazakhstan with a positive record. They've outscored Iran by 9 points when he's been out on the floor, and stretches that tally with another basket, up to 8 points himself, plus 11 when he's been out on the court. Oh, through the legs, bounce pass, and the finish, the flying layup before clattering the advertising board from Sahakian. And Kazakhstan down the other end will go to the strike for two. What an assist though, through the legs, bounce pass. Sahakian's cut to the basket, Nick Karbarami threading the eye of the needle. They ran up by 34 and finishing with a highlight reel play. Less than 2 minutes to go. Kazakhstan at the line for only their 8th and 9th attempts. They've missed 4 of those 9. Turned over by Jamshidi. Hung high and tipped away from the incoming Basin. Kazakhstan trying to connect with a highlight reel play of their own to finish. Or at least give their fans something to cheer, but Iran having none of it. A huge turnover count for Coach Isakov's team here, 22. Wide open look for 3. An offensive rebound. A fresh 14, there's a Galiev now. Final 90 seconds of the game. There's a Galiev crossing over. And at least getting a shot for his teammate towards the end of the shot clock. They get another offensive rebound, Yagodkin. This one is almost in the books though. Final 5 seconds on the renewed shot clock. Wrestled off Mirza Galiev with a foul. The U's and R's will tell you that something dropped from long range. Mirza Galiev goes to the line, having only scored 3 points in this one. Came in as Kazakhstan's key player, averaging 9.4 points, 5.2 assists. He's just 1 of 7 from the field, and only got 1 assist to his name as well. 4 turnovers. .33 points the margin, final minute. Rezefar. Around the high screen of Hassan Zada Sabiri across to the corner. The drive inside. Hangs but doesn't hit. Nick Karbarami. Yagodkin. Fired into the low post but slips past the fingertips of Medekin. 36 seconds to play, and we are going to have another timeout. Iran leading by 33 points.
باشه تو با که گرفتی تو میاری بیرون بله تو با یه پیک بده 5 بیا بیرون حمید بیا بیرون محمد یه پیک بده به سمت گیر اونجا 5 این بر وای میسه 4 این بر وای میسه جمشیدی بعد از اینی که پیک داد اینت بیرون برای شوت گوش بده اگر نشد اوشین میره بیرون پاسو بهش میدی
Отсюда, 3-2. Ясно? Поехали. Раз, два, три, Казахстан.
It's been a very accomplished offensive and defensive performance from the three-time Asian champions. At least 20 points scored in each of the first, third and fourth quarters. A bit of a slump in the second that briefly gave Kazakhstan a glimmer of hope, but very briefly. They never got closer than 14. Jamshidi. With 4 players in double figures for Iran as they turn it over here. Shot clock turned off. Stop and pop 3 will go for Mirza Galiev. Just his second field goal of the game. 7 points. He's 2 of 8 from the field altogether. Iran will dribble this one out as Razo Far looks to make a late move. Fans on their feet in the capital. The foul coming with just 2 seconds remaining. Foul shots for the number 17. They've really been able to spread the minutes around here this afternoon, Iran. Nobody has played longer than the 28 minutes of Nikkar Barami. Nobody has played fewer than the 8.5 minutes of Hassan Zada Sabiri. The Kazakhs rocked against the Iranian ropes early and never recovered. Iran dominant all the way through after that 22-2 start. Never looked back and raced away to win it in the end by 32 points, 88-56. Behind 4 players in double figures, led by the 20 of Benan Yakchileda, who was 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown. They also had 11 from Mashiyeki, 10 for Mirzait Al-Oposhti and for Jamshidi. Really impressive team shooting percentages all round. Impressive on the boards, impressive in just about every category. They did take their foot off the gas towards the end and gave minutes to everybody on the roster. Minutes that will benefit them moving through to the second stage. 20 points, Yakchalida. 7 rebounds for him to lead the way for them in that category as well. Nobody had more than 10 points for Kazakhstan. And 4 steals for Kazemi as well, who came up with some of the highlight reel plays of the game. And the Iranian capital appreciating the efforts of their team, not just today, but through the first stage of qualifying. A first stage which they will advance from with a 5-1 record at the top of the group. Kazakhstan will be through as well, but only take a 3-3 record into the second stage in September. Just the 10 points for Yergali to lead the way for them. He was just 3 of 15 from the field and 1 of 10 on the inside, which really personified the troubles that Kazakhstan had inside against the likes of Haddadi and Mirzait Al-Poshti, who cut off the paint for Kazakhstan. They were forced into shooting the long ranger, but didn't take enough of them to ever trouble the Iranians. Haddadi with his one big highlight reel played to get the fans on their feet in Tehran. But it was for him a performance that rather went under the radar. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals and a block, some way below his averages, at least for points and rebounding. They got plenty from elsewhere on their roster. Iran go through with a 5-1 record. Kazakhstan go through as they fall to 3-3. It finished in Tehran. Iran 88, Kazakhstan 56. It's been a pleasure having your company for this one. I'll see you next time.
برای همه شما آرزوی پیروزی و بهروزی دارم.